Kia ora. We've got a wet looking afternoon on Friday. More rain feeding in towards the western side of the country and also some thunderstorms as well. Well worth keeping an eye on the forecast for this afternoon and particularly those severe weather watches and warnings. You can see on these satellite images the red crosses showing the lightning strikes, and we're going to find them moving closer towards us as we head through the rest of the afternoon. So it is looking like a fairly wet story, especially around those western parts of the South Island. Some thunderstorms creeping up towards the south later on. And for the North Island, you can see there's still more activity to come across us as we head through the rest of Friday, in towards the night, and even in towards the early hours of Saturday morning as well. So we have still got some severe weather watches and warnings in place for that rain, but also with that risk of thunderstorms across particularly those northern and western parts of the North Island as we head through this afternoon, and more especially in towards the evening and overnight. You might even find a few thunderstorms around the likes of, say, Otago as well as we go through the day. But heaviest rainfall places like the ranges of western South Otira, those western parts of the Tasman region, and also Mount Taranaki, Taranaki-Maunga, as we go through the rest of Friday and in towards the early part of Saturday morning as well. Keep an eye on the forecast, and you can find all the latest information on these watches and warnings on the Met Service website. You can see, though, we start off as we go through the night time with that wet weather across the North Island. There will be some thunderstorms in the mix as well. It takes its time to clear away from the likes of, say, the eastern parts of the Bear Plenty. The watch for you runs through to around about 10 in the morning on Saturday, but you can see it's an improving story further south. On that western coast through the night time, more wet weather and those thunderstorms climbing up in towards parts of Southland and Otago. What you'll also notice is it's very, very warm through the nighttime as well. Look at these nighttime minimums for places like Napier. Nothing lower than about 23 degrees Celsius. That's warmer than it's been for like half the days in December. So an incredibly warm, muggy and humid night, not just in places like Napier, but you can see right the way across the board, many places are going to keep hold of those very warm and humid conditions through the nighttime as well, which means we start off very warm and very muggy first thing on Saturday. The good news is Saturday's an improving day, and for many of us it's a much drier and brighter story. The last of those showers clearing away pretty quickly from the north, and there's plenty of brightness and some sunshine returning for the North Island as well. Some better weather down that eastern side of the South Island. Still pretty warm. We are going to find some high temperatures over the next few days. But you can see we've got a very short-lived ridge of pressure. The next area of wet weather runs in towards the far south by the end of the day on Saturday. As we head towards New Year's Day, that will put, or New Year's Eve, I should say, that will carry on moving northwards up the country. But for the North Island, the wettest weather will be first thing, with the rest of those showers just to clear away as we head in towards the very early hours of the morning for the likes of, say, the Coromandel and the Bear Plenty. A great looking day around this eastern coast. It stays warm, it stays hot, we're being honest, and it stays fine. Plenty of clear sky and sunshine through the day there. As we head through the afternoon, plenty of dry and sunny conditions for Northland and Auckland. There will be a few showers that spring up through the central high country and perhaps about the tops of the Taurua range. But for many spots, it's a dry looking afternoon, and we are going to find it's a hot one as well. Temperatures in Napier, remember that very warm start today, rise into highs of 32 degrees Celsius. Not far adrift out towards Gisborne as well, 29 degrees Celsius. So if you're out towards Rhythm and Vines, it will be a very warm day for you. And you can see our nighttime temperatures as we head through the night into the early hours of Sunday, still incredibly warm across the island. It is going to be a very warm day, but more so on that eastern side of the country. Now down towards the South Island, again we'll find a few bits of rain around first thing around that western coast, and still perhaps a few early thunderstorms around the likes of Southland and Otago. That'll clear off pretty quickly, as should any early hail, and we are looking at an improving story down south. Brilliant spells of sunshine for the likes of, say, Christchurch and up towards the likes of Kaikoura. A bit more cloud perhaps in those southern parts of Canterbury for a time, but I think we are going to find some brightness and some sunshine until things get cloudier with high cloud feeding across ahead of this next system, which brings that wet weather and that rain back in towards Fiordland and those western parts of Southland by the end of the day. Now in terms of our temperatures, again, warmest out on that eastern coast, highs in Christchurch back to around about 28 degrees Celsius. A bit cooler towards the coast, but I think still a fairly decent looking story there. Out towards those cloudier skies on the western coast, highs still around about 20 degrees Celsius. As we go through in towards New Year's Eve, we've got this feature moving northwards. Now, that will bring more wet weather in towards the likes of Nelson to start the day, and moving on towards the North Island in time for the afternoon. It carries on moving northwards, so by the time we head in towards the evening, we'll find some clearance down towards places like Nelson City, Marlborough, and across in towards Taranaki as well. So it is going to be an improving story for you. So hopefully some clearer skies as we head through towards midnight. For the likes of, say, Auckland, though, we'll find this front just lingering with us through in towards the early hours of the morning on January the 1st. And we are going to find a bit of a southerly pushing up towards Canterbury, Christchurch, and even in towards Wellington, keeping a bit more cloud through there and perhaps a few showers just as the clock strikes 12. But the good news is, as we head through towards New Year's Day, that front continues on its journey away towards the north and the east, and it leaves behind higher pressure, so things are looking much more settled as we head through towards the 1st of January. And although it's still pretty warm by day, it's not going to be as high as we've seen in the last few days, and our nighttime temperatures much more comfortable. That's it from me. This is from metservice.com.